Shaun, it's been a pretty busy start to January. Obviously, 4 new faces on top of Dylan Tate and Chris Muller, starting obviously with transfer business. How happy are you to get those deals done and those players in?
Yeah, very happy really. I think each individual will bring obviously its own or his own attributes. So really happy, and I'm really appreciative of how quickly it got done. I think from my point of view, to get it done that quickly and get time on the pitch with them was imperative really. I was very happy with obviously the CEO and the owner backing me that quickly and that early in January.
What will those guys bring specifically?
Yeah, individually, well, we could go through them individually. So Harry, I think, to start with, has had a fantastic, obviously, 5-6 months at Ross County, real intensity and speed and defensive actions, and can do the same really attacking. I think Rocky, the way that he can defend, again, with his speed and aggression, but I think technically is actually very good in how we want to play. And I know Ewan's not available for the Celtic match, but brings a creativity, and already in the practice match we saw that. So we're really looking forward to obviously getting Elios to a position where obviously he gets his work permit. But again, really exciting young player. We have to give him a little bit of time to adapt to. He's a bit younger, adapt to the country, the league. But he's really creative attacking player in the 9 or the 10 position. So that's a small summary of the 4 of them, really.
Yeah, and obviously with those 4, you've got Chris Muller and Dylan Tate, who's returned from his loan spell at Wraith Rovers as well. There's loads of competition for places.
Yeah, no, at the moment we've got a big squad. I'm really comfortable with that. I don't have a specific number that I need to work with. I think very happy with where we're at. So Dylan's came back after a really successful loan at Wraith, so it'll be really good to see him in the coming weeks. And Chris is just, he had a slight, a little bit slower start to the club. But now he's back with the group now for a few sessions, working extremely hard, and he should be ready really to sort of compete for a starting spot very, very quickly.
How valuable has the last few weeks been? Obviously the winter break was brought forward, an extra kind of week for the lads to have a rest and recovery, but then 2 weeks with you on the training pitch.
Yeah, well, we give them a period of time off because I think the schedule that they have, or they had, was very, very hard. I think that was due to obviously a COVID issue earlier in the season. So some of them needed maybe just to refresh and take time because they played that many games, and others I think it gave us a really good period to get a lot of conditioning in. And they worked extremely hard, all players. Very difficult sessions, numerous sessions each day. So some was more conditioning, some was more tactical. So it was really important to actually get that period of time on the training pitch.
How hard did they work in that? I heard earlier it was double, triple sessions at times.
Yeah, no, look, I think maybe it doesn't sound. I think there was some sessions obviously on the pitch, numerous sessions on the pitch, others more gym-based. We were able to show a lot of things that we'd done really well in the first couple of games, and maybe some things that we needed to keep improving. Some real fundamentals to us as or me as a manager. No, they did. They worked extremely hard. It wasn't. There was every session was. The players were really receptive, whether it was inside or whether we had 2 sessions on the pitch. They were very receptive to what we were asking them to do.
Yeah, and back raring to go, obviously, Celtic on Monday. How much are you looking forward to that one?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. It's an amazing challenge for the team. I think now with full support, I think it's great for everyone. I know we're the away team, but it's a brilliant experience going there. I know it's really early in the process, but really the 3rd game for us. But to try and impress our style of play on the game, I'm really looking forward to seeing how our team does. Huge challenge, but a challenge that we have to prepare to go there and try and win. So I'm looking forward to it. What
do you expect from them, and how hard will that make it for us to be able to enforce our kind of attacking style of football in this?
Yeah, I think in any game, I think we've played Aberdeen and Dundee United, we've had to defend for periods, and for sure we're going to have to do that against Celtic. I think any team at any level has to defend for periods of time. But I know we'll have to do that. But I still want us to try and show the things that we've been showing, no matter where we are, whether we play it at Celtic Park, whether we play at Ibrox, Tynecastle, our own home stadium against any team. We have to. And look, the reason for that is I believe it's the best way to win, and hopefully it's something that the other part of that has to be something that inspires the supporters. And I know it's early in the process; it's the 3rd game, but I still want to demand certain things. I still want to see our players try and do certain things that I believe will give us the best chance to win the game.
Yeah, and talking obviously of a competitive squad, the SPFL are now allowing even 5 substitutions to be made during a game. Were you in favour of that, and how much will that help the players during the next 6 months or so?
Yeah, I think I was in favour. I think with the change of the schedule, which I think has now been seen to be a really positive step, I think it does then impact the schedule for the rest of the season, particularly from now to international break. So I think it makes sense for just now. I really do. I think for the amount of games and the players that we can use now, I think it's a positive thing. Moving forward, I think hopefully we get back to some form of normality, and then we get back to a more stable or normal sort of match situation. But at the moment, I think it's the best scenario for the players, and also it should keep the level of what the fans are actually watching at a higher level. Yeah,
and you mentioned obviously Elias isn't available because of his work permit. Ewan isn't available either because he's on loan from Celtic, but you won't have Paul McGinn and Ryan Porteous either. How difficult does that make it in terms of the defensive options that you've got?
It makes it more difficult. I think both players bring their own attributes to the team. I think Paul's can play numerous positions, so that's it is difficult missing out with Paul. And I think Ryan's very similar, and he's been excellent really in both games for me. He's a real talent at that centre-back position, centre-back, right centre-back in a 3, middle centre-back of a 3. So no, Ryan and Paul are a big miss, and obviously we hope this is something that won't happen too often, because we really need these players. And Ryan in particular, I think, has to now show the talent that he has on the pitch, because he's very, very talented, and it's something that we have to help him through. And I want to see him on the pitch as much as often.
Absolutely, and someone who's close, or closer I should say, to being back on the pitch is Kyle Magennis.
Yeah, it was brilliant to have Kyle back. It's the first time really. He's joined in very early stage, but to have him with a full session, although adapted, really glad to see him. Hopefully feels a real a part of it now, because obviously I've been here a few weeks and he's not been able to feel a real part of the squad, even though he's been in every tactical meeting. But to have him on the pitch, we had to adapt it, and hopefully in the next few weeks he can get himself in a position where he can fight for selection in the starting 11 and in the squad.